How you doing, everybody?
Good.
Awesome. My name is Jake Lunch. I did Learning Objective 3 Types of Sales Resistance. And I'm from Seaside Park, New Jersey. I live like 2 blocks away from the Jersey Shore house. I'm sure you guys all kind of watched the show. But we actually got hit hardest with Hurricane Sandy. And I went home to help my dad board up the house, cover it with sandbags. And I went out and I tried to surf too. And my buddy just sent me pictures. This is a picture of me. I broke my ribs. It's kind of the same as Jamie. It's pretty sweet. I guess I don't know. Kind of looks like I'm trying to climb back down and retry it, but there's a picture if you can see me. Yeah, this is what happened basically. Is obviously where I live is it's a peninsula, so once the ocean breaches over the dunes, it just meets the bay in a matter of minutes. So that's why Jersey Shore got so damaged and everything from it. But I don't know. I figured that was kind of a funny picture of me falling.
How high is that water, roughly?
That's like a 10-foot wave.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's why our boardwalks, the piers that go into the ocean and everything got completely washed away. But yeah, so I know my dad and stuff, the gas tanks, pretty much no one's allowed back down in Jersey Shore for 6 to 8 months, so it's a lot of big deal for people, I guess, that live around there. But anyways, we're gonna go over the more dealing with sales resistance. There's 5 objections that you're gonna hear from the buyer. I have a quick quiz, and I'm going to summarize that for you guys. First one is need objections. I know it's football, but can anyone try to read the first one? I know it's kind of cheesy when I do this, but thanks. Well, you just want to read the first one?
Resistance to a product in which a buyer says that he does not need the product.
Yeah, so without a need, a buyer really has no reason. There's little or no reason to talk to a salesperson. And if the prospect is qualified properly, the salesperson believes that that buyer has a need. And obviously, as a buyer, they would say, obviously, I don't need your product. And prospects do not know they have a specific need until a situation occurs that makes them aware of it. And as a salesperson, with objections require the salesperson to stimulate the need, awareness of the prospect with relevant info. You can use features and benefits of the product, anything that would make them believe they need it. And for product and service, can I read the second one? I made it pretty easy.
Resistance is a product in which the buyer does not like the way the product looks or feels.
Thanks. So, often the product or service lacks something that the buyer wants or needs. It could be emotionally, it could be not the way they like it, but the way it looks or feels. Or objections toward the product center on understanding the fit between the product and the customer's needs. And as a salesperson, you need to learn what's important for the buyer. Salesperson, you do an adequate job of fact-finding and qualifying, and these issues can be resolved by getting the prospect knowing what they're looking for in the product. And you could be tying benefits into the customer's needs, helps the prospect bridge the gap between no need and need of the product. Product for company source.
Resistance to a product that results when a buyer has never heard of or is not familiar with the product's company.
So this is probably the hardest to overcome because I know a lot of buyers, they can have a good brand loyalty to a company and their current supplier. They could be sufficed with who they have. And I think it is hard to overcome, but as a salesperson, you still need to point out any superior features, anything that outlies from their product that they're offering from the current supplier to yours. But also, a source objection can be negative attitude. It could be, buyer might remember a poor presentation of the past salesperson. It could be a late or damaged order that's not properly handled. So as a salesperson, you must investigate and uncover source problems that can be overcome for the current buyer. And you can just pass that on for price objections, the last one.
Resistance to a product based on the price of the product being too high for the buyer.
Okay, so this is really salespeople feel the price objection is when the buyer is just really trying to get you to lower their price. And as a salesperson, you can address this objection by citing how the benefits or values outweigh the price of your product. And by doing this, probing and asking questions are the salesperson's tools to get the real reasons for the buyer's objections.
decision to buy until a later date.
Okay, so this is really the buyer just stalling the deal. If he does want it, he could always just say like, come back here in a month or something like that. And some buyers use a technique to get rid of the salespeople so that the buyer doesn't have to reject the sales, proposal formally right in front of them. They could say like, "Oh, call me later about it." And I think as a salesperson, be sensitive to this because I know you don't want to be too pushy. It's kind of unethical for a salesperson to make you feel like you need something that you really don't. And also, it is acceptable though to review the reasons to act now or soon, or you could say the prices are rising, or there's going to be a new tax on the product. Therefore. And I have a quiz. If anyone, I don't have any Jolly Ranchers today, but these are all examples of something that the buyer could say to you as an objection. And I wrote the 5 out there this time. I'm not trying to trick you guys this time as last time. It's kind of in order, but if anyone could do the first one.
Need.
Thank you. I don't have the football. I passed it, but second one. I do not like the design, color, or style.
Product experience.
Yes. Third is your company is too small to meet my needs.
Company.
Yeah. Fourth, I cannot afford to spend that much right now.
Price.
Thank you. And fifth one. Thanks, guys. Thanks. So we really went over 5 techniques of like ways they avoid or delay an action with sales, and went over the 5 objections of it and ways to overcome it. Who has my first question? What would you say is would be the most important objection to overcome for the buyer?
I'm guessing cost,
Cost?
because,
Yeah, price is hard. I think like establishing need recognition. Because once you get them convinced that they need something, that you can really like start your work from there, whether it's price or any benefits or features that you can offer that can value both you and the buyer. And that's it.
Put your presentation back up, Jacob. I'm sorry. Yeah, leave it up. Go to the types of objections again. You had them all listed. Let's start
Okay.
with that.
The quiz part. These are the type of objections.
Let's see. Product need. Product. Oops. No, just go. Yeah, you can leave it up and slide it. Just leave that up for me. Let's give some feedback, everybody, on what you observed.
Very well prepared.
Okay, good.
Good information.
spoke clear.
Yeah. Keep going.
Slides are really easy to like follow along.
Yeah. A couple of them were a little wordy, but they were easy to follow along. Yeah.
The quiz was good.
Quiz was excellent. Okay. One more good thing. What about his opener?
I like the horse and the little goat.
Yeah.
He dated it back to something like relevant,
Yes.
like recent.
Very, very relevant. So as you saw, 2 speakers this morning. One had actually 3 with the jumping off the roof. Then we had the motorcycle accident. How long ago was that roughly? 6, 7 years. A while back, but still a very personal story. And then we got another story. It's just like so recent in the last couple of weeks. Leave that up. No, leave that up just like that.
Monkey.
Perfect like that. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll turn it off. So I'm gonna use part of it. So I just leave the whole thing up there for about next 20 minutes.
That's fine.
What should you do differently next time?
You looked at the screen,
Yeah. Okay, just a couple of turnarounds this week, not too often, and then you do the monitor in front of you. The biggest advice I would give you is at the end you had a nice quiz, you had a nice presentation, and at the end you kind of like went into this like, gee, I'm sorry, I got a quiz, I hope you don't find it too offensive. I'm being
Yeah,
funny,
yeah, yeah.
but it was kind of like you wanted to like hide under the desk, and I'm over-exaggerating to make a point. It's just like, I don't care if it's a quick quiz, we got all day, let's take our time and reinforce our knowledge. I want you to have the same kind of assertiveness throughout the whole presentation. At the end, don't go, oops, I just got one more thing, please, type of a thing. Just, and watch the video that Alex is taping right now, because you're gonna see that you're very confident, and we get to the end, it's just like, it just changes on you a little bit. And that was it. Nice job, thank you.
Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Victoria Vandal. I'm going over Chapter 8, Learning Objective number 4, which is using the LAARC, a process for negotiating buyer resistance. I am a senior and I'm interdisciplinary studies. So this is my puppy. This is my baby. I don't know what he is. I think I was told he's going to be 65 pounds. He's only 35 and he's hit his peak. Yeah, I think he's part pitbull, but I don't know. So overview, this is actually going to change a little bit. I'm going over the LAARC. I'm going to summarize and then Q&A. So the LAARC is an acronym that describes an effective process for salespeople to follow to overcome sales resistance. It stands for listen, acknowledge, assess, respond, and confirm. Listen basically is just plain and simple. Listen to your buyer. You want to avoid interrupting. It's not only polite and professional, but it also like shows them that you care about what they're saying and what their concerns are. Acknowledge. You don't want to like after they speak, you don't want to jump in and like immediately come back with a response. You want to demonstrate that you heard them, you care, and by doing this, you can pause. And then go into the next step, which is assess. This is basically the same step as assessment in the adapt process. You should basically ask similar questions to make sure that you're understanding their concerns, so then you can respond. I was going to go over respond, but that's really Gretchen's section now. There's just a chart that kind of goes into the different techniques, and it should be based upon the per situation. And then confirm. After asking the questions and responding, you just want to ask confirmatory questions to make sure the buyer's concerns are properly met. And then after that, you can continue with the sales process. And to summarize, we went over the LAARC process, how to use it and what it is, and then, yeah, not really the techniques anymore. So who has my first question? Awesome. Okay, what does the LAARC mean? Listen, acknowledge, assess, respond, and confirm. Perfect.
Very good. What did you observe in the presentation?
I read it too fast.
What's that?
I went too fast.
A little bit, yeah. What else?
She did a good job of being a little louder, like, because you were quiet first, but you got louder.
That's because he went like this.
So it's good to have a coach in the back of the room. I told you guys a story about U7 when the time I was being filmed by U7 on an interview for an insurance product, and the guy was behind going like this. Did I ever tell you that story? So